So we're looking at number 8 on the chapter test. The graph of y equals x minus 1 all squared plus 2 is reflected in the x-axis and then translated 3 left and 3 down. What's the equation of the new graph? Okay, so reflected in the x-axis, that means it's a reflection on the y values, right? All the y's become their opposite. So that means the whole function becomes negative, right? Or flips over. So I'm going to say negative x minus 1 all squared plus 2. Okay, so the whole function becomes, there's a negative sign outside of the whole function. Does that make sense, right? So if I'm going to neaten this up a bit, this is what it would look like. I'll do the translating left because I'm going to do my reflection first, right? Y equals minus x minus 1 all squared minus 2. So I'd reflect it first. And then translated 3 left and 3 down. Okay, 3 units to the left, y equals minus. If it was at negative 1, 3 units to the left, it's going to be minus, or x plus 2, agreed? And then 3 down, it's sitting at negative 2, so I think it would be negative 5. This one was a little tough because we couldn't just use our f of x format because it didn't give us f in the question, so we actually had to think about the actual, the graph itself. Reflect first. So the order of transformations is reflections and stretches first, then shifts. I have something else for you as well. If you look at the back of the purple book too, I meant to, on the very last page, if you need, maybe we could do this quick. This is just another little exercise to make sure you know what you're doing. So on the very last page of your purple booklet, it just gives you some coordinate points, and it just asks you to write the coordinates after the transformations. If you just want to take a few minutes, it shouldn't take long. Record your answers, and then I'll record mine, and you can check your work if you haven't done that already, okay? So you're just given a coordinate point. You're either given the instructions in words as an F statement, like a generic statement, or again in words, or just, you know, a set of instructions in words in English. So see if you can come up with these, and then we'll group together again in a few minutes. While you're doing that, I'm going to hand out a review. So these are the types of questions, again, that review the topics that we covered so far in this unit. And your first test tomorrow, it will be just on the transformations unit, not on any prerequisite skills. Of course, anything you learned in grade 9, 10, 11, I mean, you sort of have to know those skills to be adept at your grade 12 stuff, but I'm going to hand one of these out. The answers are on the last 2 pages, right? So the answers are included. So this gives you an idea, you know, of some of the types of questions that you'll see on the test tomorrow. The types of questions you can expect would be these, anything in your chapter book, anything like an example that we did, right? I'm not going to test you on stuff that we have covered in class, so don't do any tricks like that. You should start working on finish all the, like the reflections and inverses, like if you didn't do that for homework or you forgot, yeah, during class, ask me to. Okay, so Eileen noticed something on the, yeah, which question was it? Number 9? Okay, so you know how your book turned every vertical stretch into a horizontal thing? I would describe this, describe how the graph of y equals 2, x minus 3 all squared plus 1 can be obtained from this. I would describe it as vertical stretch by factor of 2, okay? And then I would say shift 3 to the right and shift 1 up. Agreed? Now your book probably did it, what? They did a horizontal stretch by factor of 2, right? Or root 1.5. Yeah, just forget that. That would be a vertical stretch, I would call it, right? Okay, Eduardo. We missed a few things. Let's do this. There's a page missing from your chapter note 2, so we can do that. Give me 1 second. Let's look for that page for Eduardo, which I can't find right now. I'm just going to give him mine. Okay, so this was missing from your chapter note. This is the first page of the book. Oh, you got it.
Oh. I saw that.
Yeah, I'll just give you that. This is when this was very okay, Adam?
Do you have the answers to these ones?
Yeah, we're going to do them right now.
Okay.
Sorry. All right, so I'm going to record the answers right now on these ones. So shift 3 down, 2 to the right. So we would have 5, comma 3. Yeah? This means left 3, so negative 7, and a half minus 5, negative 4.5. And then I have, this would be a shift to the right, so negative 1 plus 7, I get a 6. And a negative 2 minus 1, negative 3. Yeah. Sorry. 6 down is 3, 2 to the right, 2 plus 2 is 4, right? Sorry, guys. Yeah, agree? That better? Okay. This is just shift 5 down, so 0 stays fine. 5 minus 5, it's going to be 0. Shift 0.5 units up, so that will be 8.5 on the y. 1.5 units left, so I have negative 3, another negative 1.5, negative 4.5. Here, all the y values become their opposite, so x stays the same, it'll be -4. Here, all the x values become their opposite sign, so it'll be 6, 10. Here, both of them change, so it's just going to be -2.5, -7. What's happening here? All the x's become, or all the y's become their opposite and then shift down. And the x's, I move 4 to the left, so get 4 smaller. 74 take away 4 is 70. And then this would be the opposite. See, I do the reflections first, so I'll have -92, -92, and I drop down 9. So -101. Reflect over the y-axis, that gives me a -2. Reflect over the x, that gives me a -15, -22. Reflect over both, so they both change. Reflect over x. The 6 will become positive. Reflect over y. And both. That's easy. Okay. So that's it just for some point reflections. But this skill is used for graphing too, because you pick your critical points and these become your critical points, right? So that's the work to be done. So that was just talking about reflections. Yep. Which one? Which one? This one? This one? Reflect over y. So, oops, thank you. Yeah. The second last one, 1, -5. All right, it seems like everyone's just getting everything all the time. I'll just leave these up for a little while. I'm going to stop